Knives Out was written and directed by a certain individual who may or may not have directed a Star Wars movie a couple of years ago that caused absolutely no divide between the Star Wars fan base whatsoever. Hey there guys, Tom here, welcome back to my movie channel, and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new film, Knives Out. Have you guys seen Knives Out? Whatever you think about Knives Out, make sure you jump down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts so we can carry on the discussion. So Knives Out has an all-star cast and was written and directed by, of course, Rian Johnson. This is a murder mystery, kind of a throwback to the Agatha Christie novels. And when Christopher Plummer, the head of the family, is murdered, Daniel Craig is brought in as the detective to solve the crime. So this was a film that's been getting a lot of buzz around it because it's played at all the festivals earlier in the year and it's coming out in theaters next week. I was very lucky to see an advance showing of it tonight. So this film, look, whatever you think of The Last Jedi, whatever you think of Rian Johnson, that's up to you. Me personally, I like The Last Jedi. Yes, you heard me correctly. I like The Last Jedi. Go ahead, hit that unsubscribe button. Do it. But nevertheless, we're here to talk about Knives Out. This film is such a fun film. It's a beautifully shot movie, and it's also a very well directed film as well. I think Rian Johnson is at his best when he's working with his own original material. And this is, at its core, it is a murder mystery, but it's also more of a comedy, and a comedy with a lot of suspense. And that is not an easy thing to accomplish in a film, and I think Knives Out balances the comedy and the suspense perfectly. It doesn't stray too far from what it is. This film is very self-aware, and that comes out in the performances of this entire cast. The cast of this film is completely A-list, from Daniel Craig to Chris Evans to Christopher Plummer, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon. The list goes on and on and on. These actors, there is no real wink link as far as performances go in this film. They are all incredible. The standout though for me was Ana de Armas, or however you pronounce her name. I haven't seen her in much. I only have seen her in Blade Runner 2049, which is a movie I really enjoyed. But she is front and center in this movie. She is like the main number one character throughout the entire film without spoiling anything. And she was really the standout performance in the film to me. Because for a lot of the movie, the film rides on completely on her shoulders. And I think she does a great job carrying this film and delivering such a great performance. Of course, the other standout that everybody's talking about that certainly wasn't overhyped was Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig in this film is fantastic. And this film is kind of cheesy. I'll say it. It's cheesy. The whole film is really hammed up, and all the performances are hammed up. And you can tell all the actors had such a great time shooting this movie because they all just got to play these eccentric roles. And the performances are cheesy and over the top, and you can tell they are going for that. So the film is very self-aware in that sense. And it all completely works for this weird, suspenseful, comedic tone that they went for in the movie. The dialogue is really what keeps this movie alive and keeps this movie moving, because the film has such a great pace to it, such a great cadence. The film just keeps moving, and it moves very quick. This film moves at a rapid pace. And the dialogue is such a huge part of that, because the dialogue between all the characters, it's quick, it's sharp, it's funny, it's intelligent, and it keeps the story moving. Every line of dialogue keeps the story moving forward. That's why this film feels like it moves as fast as it does. And it really truly does feel like a typical Rian Johnson film. And being a typical Rian Johnson film, Rian Johnson films to me have always been really unpredictable movies. You're never quite sure where he's going with his stories. And this being a murder mystery, certainly you really don't know where it's going. This film took an unexpected direction to me. It's certainly one of the best whodunit murder mysteries I've seen in a very, very long time. It is one of 2019's best films. I don't think Knives Out is going to make my personal top 10 of the year list, because that list is already getting pretty stacked. It might, but I don't think at this stage it will, but it might. Guys, overall, I enjoyed Knives Out. I had a great time. This is truly one of 2019's best films. It is a very, very excellent movie. I enjoyed it greatly. Go and see Knives Out. It's very worth it, unless, of course, you hated The Last Jedi and you'll never watch anything Rian Johnson related ever again. Thank you very much for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, hit that subscribe button, ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. My name is Tom, and I will see you guys next time.